What up, y'all? This is Patrick Hayes. In this video, I'm going to tell the story of how I won the lottery. True story, how I won the lottery using specific manifestation techniques. And I also want to talk a little bit about some philosophical principles regarding the idea of the law of attraction or manifesting. Now, I don't really like the term the law of attraction because it's been so watered down over the years, but still it is sometimes the best terminology to use or the most accurate terminology. So just know when I am using that term, I don't mean it in the same way that a lot of the fluffy, new agey expression of law of attraction is commonly used. I mean it more in the truer, like occult science sense of the term. So let's see, this was probably about 7 or 8 years ago that I won the lottery, and how I did it was quite interesting. I was at my father's house in California, and I got the inspiration to go play the Mega Millions lottery, and I was inspired and excited to go do it. And so I went down to the gas station, and I got inspired to play certain numbers. They kind of came to me. It was 12, 18, 33, 42, 56. And then a mega number. I forget what the mega number was. So I went ahead and I played the numbers, and I went back to my father's house, and I sat there, and I intentionally went inside my mind and won the lottery inside my mind. And I sat in that vibration for like 20 or 30 minutes. I just sat there, and as far as I was concerned, I had won the lottery. I thought about what it would be like, how it would feel, and I really embodied that frequency of winning the lottery. Now, I'm familiar with the idea of parallel dimension shifting, and how by winning the lottery with intention, what you're actually doing is you're shifting to a dimension where the numbers that you chose are the winning numbers. And that seems accurate in my experience because even though I felt inspired and numbers came out to me, it was very much a steeping in the energy or the vibration that really brought me into the vibrational frequency that I did after I bought the numbers. So what happened is I steeped in that energy for, like I said, about 30 minutes, and then I fell asleep. I fell asleep on the chair where I was doing that practice. And when I woke up, I forgot that I actually went and bought the tickets. And it was just one ticket, actually. I forgot that I bought it, though. And it wasn't until about 3 weeks later that I was going through my wallet and I found the ticket in my wallet, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I played the lottery. And so I went back on the internet to check the numbers, and as soon as I looked at it, like all the numbers looked the same, and I was like, my heart started beating so fast that I started getting shaky, and I woke my roommate up. I was like, oh my God, because I was looking at it, and it said that I had won $300,000. And I was like, oh my fucking God, I just won $300,000. I was like jumping up and down in my apartment, and I was so shaky. And as I looked closer, so the numbers were, that came up were 21, 18, 33, 42, 56. And then there was a mega number. And what I had was 12, 18, 33, 42, 56. So I had 4 of the double-digit numbers correct, and I got 12 and 21 transverse. So when I first looked at the paper, they all looked the same. I didn't notice that 12 and 21 were transverse. So actually, I didn't win $300,000. I won only $180. I felt kind of ripped off because, I mean, what are the chances of getting 4 double numbers correct, right? And if I'd only transversed the 12 and 21, I'd have been like, it would have been ridiculous. Now I missed the mega number, but I got those 4 double-digit numbers correct, and it was absolutely incredible as far as like the chances of that, right? So like, what are the chances of getting 4 double-digit numbers? That's crazy. To even guess 1 double-digit number is like, that's hardcore. So it definitely worked, and what I realized is that there's the key principle is, after you get into the vibration of having won or manifested whatever it is, it's then wiping your mind and forgetting about it. And that sends off the manifestation intention to go and shift your dimensions, or to, work in the template realm in order to make that reality possible, make that reality a fact. And this has been the issue when I've tried to do it several times after that, is that I haven't been able to forget that I bought the ticket. And it just kind of happened as a fluke the first time. I went to sleep, I fell asleep in the chair, and then I just woke up. It was like a Thanksgiving holiday, and I woke up and I was just, with my family, and I completely forgot about it. So I was able to really vibrate that frequency and really, embody that dimension of winning, and then completely forget about it and cut it off. And in my study of occult practices, this is the technique. There's a certain amount of energy that you need to pulse out into the universe, and then you need to completely cut yourself off from it, have no expectations, have no thoughts or emotions of like, oh, I hope I win, or I think I'm gonna win, or let me try to keep thinking positively about it over and over and over. Because when you keep going back and forth, that's like showing your doubt, or it's showing your uncertainty about it, and it keeps tethering you to that dimension. So all it takes is a second of you doubting it, or a little bit of energy of not being completely sure, or having a little bit of anxiety, like, oh, I hope I get this, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it. See, that will destroy the attempt to manifest, right? So it worked really well for me the first time, but when I tried to do it after that, I still haven't figured out how to not think about it, right? But then again, I haven't tried it a million times after that. It was like an amazing experience, but I don't know. I haven't continued to repeatedly go back and win the lottery. That just isn't my, highest goal in life, is to become a lottery winner. As great as it would be, I don't know, maybe I should try it again and see what happens. But, what this does is this brings me to a philosophical question, which, or a philosophical statement, I should say, which I've analyzed quite a bit over the years. And this is the idea of using powers like the law of attraction, for lack of a better term, or manifestation skills, and the motivations or intentions behind how we use them. And the reason why I bring this up is because this is a high spiritual power, right? So you can think of this as like a high spiritual technology. The true law of attraction, being able to use that, it's a spiritual technology. And if we use a high spiritual technology from a lower level of consciousness, essentially that is the technical term for that would be black magic. That's like the technical term in occult science, right? So essentially using your power to manipulate the unseen forces of nature for your own animal, carnal, or lower desires, right? To feed your lower desires. This is technically black magic, right? Now, I don't see anything wrong with manifesting abundance for health and in your life, and for your family, and so that you can live a life where you give back to the world. But a lot of people take this idea of law of attraction and they're kind of interested in it to get Lambos, or to get more sex, or to develop power over other people, or whatever it is. These are the kinds of things they may be interested in manifesting. And while that's their decision, and I'm not here to judge, what I will say is that I think it's important that people are aware that if your intentions are to serve a lower desire in yourself, like a carnal desire, be very careful if you're using something that is a powerful spiritual technique. Because what happens then is when you start feeding your lower desires with a power that is as powerful as, the true law of attraction, right? Then these lower desires can actually get completely out of control, and they can take you over, meaning your spirit starts being controlled by your animal desires or your lower desires, right? When you feed the beast, it will grow. So be careful of what your intentions are and where it's actually coming from if you are actually learning how to master these kinds of manifestation techniques, or you're interested in mastering them. See, we're all faced with the challenge of controlling our lower desires. This is just a natural part of life and evolution as a human being. We have to learn to be sexually appropriate. We have to learn to not be gluttonous in our activities. Otherwise we have health problems, right? So we eat too much, or we could become gluttonous in our desire for physiological comforts, right? So we could get addicted to drugs and do a lot of drugs because it feels good on our body, right? And you can see the destruction that is a result in people's lives. because of not having control over their lower desire bodies, right? But it's a different game when you start feeding your lower desire bodies with the kind of excess that can come from utilizing a higher spiritual power to do so. See, when you do this, it feeds these lower desires in such an excess that these lower desires can just grow completely out of control. And you see this happening in the world with a lot of the, financial elites that are addicted to power, that are addicted to money, and they're destroying everything in the world because of it, right? So like oil tycoons that are like after the oil, trying to maintain their dominance, in the over the infrastructure of this planet, and doing it quite psychotically, right? It's a psychotic addiction to these things, right? And they very well don't have power to temper themselves anymore because they've learned how to manifest. They've learned these higher skills of the law of attraction, but they're using it to feed their lower desire body, and the monster has grown out of control. So it's important for us to be aware that we're going to be using these techniques, that every step that we take forward in spiritual power and spiritual ability, we need to take 3 steps forward in our own moral development and our own willpower temperament. So thanks so much. This is Patrick Hayes. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I release videos. And if this video is useful to you, or you think it might be useful for someone else, please share it. I'd really appreciate the extra promotion. So thanks so much, and I will talk to you next time. This is Patrick Hayes. One love.